Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first video of the Maximum Whimsy channel on YouTube. I'm Duncan, and the point of this channel is primarily to make a sitcom in Minecraft. We're also going to be covering other things, reviews, let's plays of kind of the offbeat end of gaming, so indie games, kind of weird stuff, and also doing videos on, various other bits and pieces, often connected with gaming, to be fair, I've come up with. But the primary aim of the channel is to do a sitcom in Minecraft. So what we're kind of aiming for is a weekly schedule, one episode a week, 10-minute episodes, and it's going to be recorded separately but then machinimated in Minecraft. But while it's being machinimated in Minecraft, I'm going to try and do it in a way that would be the same as you'd do it if you were doing like a normal, traditional sort of TV sitcom, so something like sound stages and cameras, and like have 3 cameras and, a sound stage like you would have in a like a television studio. So the idea is that while it will be in Minecraft, it'll kind of look the same as a TV sitcom that you would watch, well, on TV. So yeah, so it'll be sort of the 3 camera setup, kind of flat lighting, that kind of stuff. But the characters in the sitcom don't know they're in Minecraft. To them, Minecraft is normal, kind of everyday reality type of thing. So the kind of situation part of the sitcom is basically about 2 guys that share an apartment. One guy is kind of the, slightly cynical, worldly wise, but, otherwise pretty regular guy, played by my buddy Craig. And then the other guy is kind of a bit of a loser, but has pretensions to being a genius. Thinks he's God's gift and all that. So you may recognise this setup from, if you're in the UK, kind of Hancock's Half Hour or something like that, or Red Dwarf, or a million other sitcoms, I guess, in the US. It's kind of The Odd Couple, something like that. But it's that type of sitcom. So but it's in Minecraft, so it can be that much more kind of insane and mental, basically. So written the pilot episode and recorded it. Now we need to build the sets. So I thought I'd sort of share the process of the set building via the medium of YouTube. That's what we're going to do in this video. Start building. I think probably just the main kind of lounge room of the apartment, and then kind of get that right, and then add to it. So it being Minecraft, I can kind of I'll probably just build kind of a square box today, and then be adding bits, sort of extra little alcoves and rooms as we go along. And of course, all suggestions welcome in the comments below the video. I'll take a look at them, take them on board. So we're going to build it based on the sort of rules of sitcom, that being, the sitcom layout for an apartment. So from watching sitcoms, or if you're a TV tropes reader, you'll probably kind of notice that sitcom apartments aren't quite like regular apartments. It's got to be open plan. It's got to have 3 walls because you need somewhere to put the cameras. And kind of everything points towards the missing wall. So it's laid out kind of so you can film everywhere. And kind of the door normally on the left, and it always opens into the main room, so you haven't got scenes of people in kind of a little cramped hallway, and which would look pretty terrible. So without further ado, let's get building. Yeah, going for probably something along the lines of kind of like a clay walls, so something like, so stained clay walls. So maybe the white stained clay walls, I reckon, will look okay. Because the other thing you kind of want is, you don't want it to be too dark as well. So yeah, I'm thinking kind of white stained clay walls, and then kind of maybe like a wood floor. So something like yeah, something like maybe jungle wood, or possibly, well, maybe oak. I think birch is probably too light. But yeah, maybe oak kind of slabs. But yeah, so I'm thinking I'll build it here. And yeah, and I will away and do that, and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Yes, now we have some sort of soundstage here. Yeah, I kind of went with this white stained clay. I don't know. It's the thing you want to avoid, I think, is not making it too dark. So yeah, it's kind of pink. So I might replace some of the walls here. I put these blocks here to kind of represent the cameras, like where the camera positions might be. So you can see it would be being filmed effectively like this. So this is kind of like a wide shot, and then you'd maybe have another one over here that was kind of doing a, you know, different angle, and you can kind of zoom in from that one to, you know, individual characters and stuff like that. I've also built a little thing here because one thing you kind of need is light, and it's daylight now, and indeed, you know, the original kind of you know, movies that were made were filmed using natural daylight. You know, when the movie industry was sort of based in New York, and kind of just when it moved out to Hollywood in the kind of 1910s and the 1920s, you had they built movie sets with basically open ceilings, and then filmed in daylight. So you'd have something like this. Well, and there's a problem with doing that. It rains, and that's why everybody went to California to make movies, because you could have open roofs on your sets and it didn't rain all the time. But yeah, you'd have an open ceiling and an interior kind of room as a set, and on film it would look perfectly normal and be lit perfectly well. But you know, occasionally in movies of that era, you can see the character's hair sort of blowing in the wind while they're sat at the dining table or something like that, which kind of wouldn't happen. And you know, it was basically done because the only lighting that was kind of bright enough to illuminate stuff that was shot on the kind of early film stuff, the early film stock, was arc lights, which are basically insane, kind of ridiculous hot things that effectively a bolt of lightning. You know, you get a kind of well, I believe in an anode and a cathode, you know, and just have a spark between them, and that's the light, an enormous, you know, bright spark. So to avoid doing that, they built the sets with open roofs and filmed stuff during the day, which is kind of what I'm thinking about doing. Yes, hello. So yeah, but one thing I think we'll need is some lighting, and what I thought was, so instead of doing a wood floor, I'd kind of do a floor with these glowstone blocks, which, if you're not a Minecraft person, are blocks that emit light, and you can put carpet over the top of them, so you know, it doesn't, you know, they don't show up, because having a glowstone block in a sitcom set would be kind of odd. You kind of expect the characters to comment on that magic glowing block. So yeah, I think I'll kind of deck out the floor like that with some grey wool, and kind of see what it looks like. Yeah, these mobs are getting kind of annoying. I put down a command block over there to stop them spawning, and it doesn't seem to be working. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and find something to do with them. Why are you here? You're not wanted. Never mind. Yeah, so I think I'll do the floor, kind of get it lit up, turn the rain off, maybe play around with the camera positions a bit. But yeah, I'll do that and come back and we'll see what it looks like. So, we have carpet that is lit, weather that is terrible. Let's sort that out. Yeah, let's make it day. And let's make it clear. Right. So, as you can see, and lack of mobs, which is good. So yeah, I did the carpet and it looks pretty good. It's kind of, without that, it's kind of quite shadowy around the bottom of the walls. So this kind of makes it look flat. So if you kind of think of a sitcom type thing, you know, the look of a sitcom, it's all sort of uniformly lit. And yeah, I think this works. And I moved in the camera positions a bit to stop it looking kind of like an aircraft hangar that it was looking like. Threw in a window and a door. Door on the left, which is, you know, your standard sitcom trope. And I kind of thought a fireplace might look, you know, interesting in the middle as a kind of feature just to make it into a room. And gives it a kind of a sense of scale, I guess. You know, just gets the proportions kind of right and everything. So I don't think it's going to need a roof, to be honest. I don't think I'm going to bother building a roof because it doesn't seem to need one. You know, you've kind of got this shot here, or kind of that shot there without the wall block in it, and that shot there of the door. Which looks really small, which is possibly a problem. But yeah, you know, it's Minecraft. it's not going to be perfect. But yeah, I don't think that's too bad. So I guess the next thing really is kind of decorating it. What I'm going to do is, in order to do the animating in it, the machinimating in it, I'm going to use the custom NPCs mod. Basically, that lets you place any mobs, character, you know, any player, whatever, NPC in the world, and yeah, it lets you tell them, give them behaviors. You can even code in a sort of Java-y kind of way, I think. You know, how they react to different things, etc., etc. But basically, what I want to use it for is, yeah, get the characters and make them, you know, walk in certain paths, or, you know, walk along certain paths, or do certain things, and use that to animate it. So, you know, it's kind of, you know, every director's dream. Basically, you can just make the actors do exactly what you want them to do, and have them do it over and over again. And you know, they'll always do it right. So, yeah, that's what I'll probably be moving on to in an episode or two's time. I think the next thing here is decor, and probably making a slightly better fireplace. I might dig out the back of this and make it into an actual kind of chimney or something. Maybe put some coal blocks or like netherrack or something down here, and light it to sort of give a coal fire effect. I don't know. That probably would look kind of out of place in a sitcom. But yeah. So if, you know, anybody's got any ideas on decoration, in terms of, I mean, I think what I kind of want, because with the custom NPC mod as well, you can make them sit in chairs. So there's that. So I can have them seated. And the first script calls for a desk. So maybe like a desk somewhere with a chair, and possibly like a couple of comfy, kind of easy chairs, and a dining table or something like that. yeah, I'm thinking in terms of, I mean, if you think of the sets of different sitcoms, they kind of go from the basic like this, that would have over here like a dining table, and over here some, a couch or something. So like almost like a, say, Roseanne or something. You have dining table, couch. That was in 2 rooms, but it was the same. It was the same stage. So yeah, they go from that to something more complicated like Friends or Frasier or something, where you would have, like, there's a bit at the front where the couches are, kind of here, and then you go back and there's a like whole recessed kind of area here where you had the kitchen, and then there's like stuff over here that they occasionally did things at the window, like the ugly naked guy and that sort of stuff. Yeah, so yeah, if anybody's got any ideas, any comments, any suggestions on the decor, or making the stuff for the walls, maybe thinking of doing like the side walls like this, but maybe the back wall in something different. Like kind of, I don't know, something not too dark, I guess, because you want the actors, as it were, like the dudes in it, to show up against the background. So something quite light. That was my thinking with this. But yeah, if you guys got any ideas, then I'd be very glad if you'd share them, and I'll try and implement them. But yeah, so I'm gonna kind of go away and play with the custom NPC mod and try and get it working. And I shall return to this very shortly. Hopefully, yeah, I'll be posting a video in a couple of days' time. The next video, kind of with this building stuff. Schedule is basically, I'm intending to post something every couple of days, and I've got like 3 sets basically to build for the pilot episode. So yeah, that's what I'm looking to do, is build up 3 sets. Obviously, it's a sitcom. It's like a 3-act sitcom, like every network television sitcom in the world. Well, every network television sitcom in the world used to be. So most of it will take place here, and then each episode there'll be a few scenes that take place in different locations. So yeah, so I need to build like a street scene for it, because there's a scene on the street, and I'm probably going to build like a generic city block as well. It's that rain again. Like a generic, maybe like 4 city blocks or something like that. Just for sort of exteriors, because there's a whole chase scene in the pilot that requires city blocks. So yeah, need to do that. So, but yeah, like I said, please comment and like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And yeah, I shall see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.